Okay, good afternoon, folks. The service kit has come for the Westfield, yeah, whatever. Yeah, here we go. So we got a new starter motor, and what was that? Fuel pump, carburetor, and we've got the fuel pump. No, not the fuel pump. Fuel filter, air, and spark plug. So I'm just going to put on the air duct, or the what do you call this, I suppose, the air filter holder. So 2 screws, one each side, 10mm. Pop them back on. Cleaned it all out, and I shall go and get the ratchet now and tighten these up in a second. Then we'll fit the air filter. I think the outer casing will go on without moving this. I hope it. I'm going to have a quick look before I do any more. Okay, it wasn't 10mm, it's 11mm. So. Tighten that all back, and then that's it. Beautiful. If anybody's interested, I will put the link to these parts down below. Oh, there we go, that's a good fit. So that goes on there like so, and then we've got a small one, I believe, that goes on top of that. That's that one. Make sure it's nice and tight. Not too tight, not over tighten it. And then we've got the cover that goes on top of this. And that's that one. So each time I take something off, like the cover and everything, and the underneath, I've always cleaned it to make sure it's nice and clean. So, except for that. And just get some wet wipes. Just make sure it's clean. There we go. Okay, and next is the plug. New spark plug. Make sure it fits snug. It should go all the way in. That's it. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to put this casing on. No, we're not. We're putting the starter motor next. So what we got here? Well, we've got bolts and hexen down the bottom or just the top, and then we're going to disconnect the battery, and we got a positive. So we've got a positive here, and I think that's it. That's all we got. Have we got an earth? No, that's it, just positive, and then the body's the earth, of course. 13mm. You might have to lift the gear out of the way just to get it in. Both sides, and then that'll take that off. Where are we looking? There we go. 13. Right. I'm showing you a comparison. So see the teeth? Quite badly worn on that one compared to the brand new one. There we go. So I'm probably going to use the nut I took off the old one, because it's got a ridged thread on it. Not thread, a ridged locking. So it'll lock in place, where the other one's just a nut. I'll show you. You haven't got to alter it or twist it or move it up and down or anything. It's already lined up. You can't go wrong. Okay, start the motor. Power lead back on. What the hell's that? I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oh, water flush. You can, that's a water flush. You can put a hose pipe on that and then flush the bottom of the engine out. The next job, I've took the old filter off, just pulled it off, just pulled the clips off and pulled it off. Make sure the stop tap's off there. Looks a big old thing, doesn't it? It looks manky compared to, I mean, it can only go, well, I'm just going to say it can only go in one way. There is an arrow pointing in the direction that the fuel should be going. Okay, I can see that. I don't know if I can show you that. There it is. And if you can see that clearly, there's an arrow pointing towards my thumb. Okay. So on the filter in the line, you get a piece of tube. Okay, like this, and on the new carb it goes in there. Okay, like so. But we're leaving the old carb on for now. So I've cut the tube down. So you have to measure it yourself so that it fits. So I've cut it down, a small piece there, put a nice new clips on. You only get 2 clips, so save some of your clips off the old stuff, which I have done down there. And then I've measured a piece now to fit on here with a new clip, and I'll show you that in a sec. Okay, place the clip on first. Now I shortened mine slightly because it was rubbing against this metal clip here, so I've shortened it and put a smaller piece in, and that's fine by me, and that should be good to go. I'm just going to move that clip now across. There we go. Then we can turn her on, and she's filling up beautifully. There we go. So that's the way that's the way it says it flows. So we're almost there. I've got to put the hood on now. The hood fell apart. I'll show you that now. Let me just get up. Yep. So the hood, I'll get it down first. So the hood had clips all the way around. These clips, if you see them, they got like a tooth clip, and they fit in and then they clip in. There wasn't any. They'd all broke off. I don't know why, I don't know, whatever. So what I used was JB Weld plastic. It's not coming apart because once it's in, it's here to stay. So I've repaired the hood using that. Next thing to do is to fit the hood. Okay, back on the test. So fuel on. I hate this bit where it's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? So you've got to sit in it as well because that registers the seat. Mind the handbrake on your bum. Okay, we have a choke. We're on there. I've never done one of these, so I've got the pulley up out the way. We have ignition. Ah, that's what that does. Right. That's something to do with the... I don't know about this, but something to do with this drive. Let me just try that again. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think the switch is working properly. I suppose it's disengage and engage your cutters, and it doesn't like it when the cutters are down. Let's try again. Sorry. Right, okay, I'll just pause for a second. Right, so the cutters are up. That's park. That's seat. Not too sure what that one is. I just want to check. There we go, all working. I might just turn the carb down a little bit, but apart from that, That worked. Yeah, we just took this for a nice little drive and it runs beautifully. I've still got a bit of a noisy bearing, but I've been trying to figure out what this does. And I think we sussed it out. So you've got a position there, and I think it does that. I don't know if it goes any further, I'll try it in a minute. And it's supposed to disengage the hydrostatic drive. Bear with me, I need two hands. So, yes, it does work, but make sure you take the handbrake off. I was thinking, what am I doing wrong? Anyway, so there you go. So you can now pull it by hand, one-handed. So you can move it if it gets stuck or you break down. So you pull that lever across and it disengages the hydrostatic drive. I don't know how far it goes, but as far as I've got it, so I'm going to put it back. And that should be back in. And that's it. You can move it, but it's really slow. So, hey, there we go. So you learn something new. So I thought it was a gear, but it's not. When you using the gear, well, it's forward and reverse hydrostatic. The harder you push the pedal forward, the faster you go. Same with reverse. So you just push and push. That's it. And then the handbrake. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Bit of kit. There we go. This is to engage and disengage the blades down below. Handbrake is push on. Push the lever down. That locks into position. And then you've got your choke, if anybody's interested. So you've got your choke, fast and idle, works perfectly. Fuel stop, key and ignition, and then your height for your grass cutting. And you've got rollers on the grass cutter. So this is for uneven. So if you're going up a bit of a hill or there's a slight undulating in the ground, the rollers will touch so that one side will not jam, and then so they should be equal. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one, because we're taking it down the wood and giving it a test drive.